Imagine yourself as a child moving to a peaceful village up in the mountains with your family one fateful day. A place surrounded by nature where the sound of the wind and the cicadas buzzing will become the new norm for you. A place filled with good individuals, including your new classmates who will quickly become your closest and dearest friends. Now picture yourself eventually finding out about a murder that occurred in your new hometown many years prior to your arrival, and asking your friends about it, but instead of receiving an honest reply, all you get is negative answers that completely shut down the topic and cold stares that make you feel uncomfortable for all kinds of reasons. A feeling of uneasiness getting stronger by the passing of each day. A feeling of betrayal as you feel like an outcast in the eyes of your friends since they do not trust you enough to tell you the truth. An intense paranoia that something bad may happen to you if you pry the topic any further, but an overwhelming curiosity to uncover the truth despite all odds. That, ladies and gentlemen, is only a fraction of the unimaginable terror that lies within the brilliant horror masterpiece that is Higurashi no Naku Koro ni, otherwise known as When They Cry, or When the Cicadas Cry. This series is very special to me for many reasons. I will now proceed to analyze all of them in detail and show you why you should all check out this old yet timeless piece of horror media. First and foremost, the story of this series is phenomenal. I will start by saying that Higurashi is very well written and geniusly planned out from start to finish with an incredibly satisfying ending. Moreover, it is genuinely creepy and unsettling for every single horror beat, yet incredibly cheerful during the show's various slice-of-life moments. One element that I found very interesting about the story in particular was its format, as it faithfully represents the one that the visual novel of the series follows, with the first season of the anime being the question arc, where many questions will be raised and very few of them will actually be answered, and the second season with the nickname Kai being the answer arc, where all mysteries will be unveiled before the audience's eyes, including the mind-blowing truth behind the catastrophes that befall the peaceful land of Hinamizawa throughout the course of the story. The story of this series revolves around a group of children that consists of 4 girls and a boy. The girls go by the names Rena Ryuga, Mion Shonozaki, Rika Furude, and Satoko Hojo, while the boy is called Keiichi Maebara. Keiichi is the character of focus in the very first arc of the show, whose basic premise I described in a poetic manner in the beginning of the video. I will also note that everything that was implied within the context of the video's starting bit was from Keiichi's perspective, but I will not establish this point further as it would take away from the magic of the show's mystery. As for the characters, each one of them has unique traits that make them distinct enough to stand out from the rest. For instance, Keiichi is amazing at giving good advice to others, while Mion is really smart, which allows her to handle tricky situations strategically and without much trouble. Satoko is a cunning girl whose fearsome traps, which are all strategically placed mind you, always ensnare her targets, while Rika is superb at keeping her composure and trying her best to calm each of her friends down whenever they are really stressed out. As for Rena, she's more like the heart of the group too, due to her cheerful and silly nature that cheers everyone up, unless she starts calling Rika or Satoko cute and tries to take them home, which has Keiichi and Mion in a rush to stop her every single time. Furthermore, they are fascinating individuals with rather interesting backgrounds that are worth looking into for story purposes. On top of all that, the beauty of the genuine friendship and sense of camaraderie that the main characters share is simply an incredible sight to behold, and an element that not only helped me like them even more, but also sympathize with each of them when they hit their lowest points in various moments of the show. Regarding the animation of the show, it was great, especially for the time when the show came out, with the only part that held it back a bit being its inconsistent art style at times, and very few jarring scenes, mostly in the first season, because the second one refined the art style and solidified it. Other than that though, the animation was solid in my eyes and I loved everything about it, from the dark aura and mature vibe it had to the silly and big moe eyes that all the characters had due to the standard character design for many anime series at the time. Now I will tackle one element of the show which solidified the series' spot as one of my all-time favorite ones. That element, ladies and gentlemen, is the soundtrack. Because damn, does this show have so many bangers! The soundtrack goes back and forth from spine-chilling horror themes to happy-go-lucky ones, and they are all amazing in my opinion. Especially the horror ones, which are truly terrifying and hair-raising to jam to. The openings and the endings of the show are truly magnificent, both visually and melodically, because they fit the narrative's image perfectly. For instance, the first opening is meant to give the viewer chills with a creepy song and images of tragedy that do not make sense yet, and the first ending further enhances the feeling of dread by confirming that bad things will happen throughout the course of the show. The second opening, on the other hand, is very hopeful as it sets up some sort of strong comeback for our characters and gives us hope that they will eventually overcome this madness successfully. The second ending masterfully captures the pain and sorrow of the show's key character, who shall not be named for obvious reasons, and even displays their hope for a better tomorrow in a more delicate and subtle manner than the second opening. As for my favorite soundtracks, even though I love most of them, if not all of them, I would say that I adore the first season's main theme due to its terrific composition and that heavenly female voice humming it in the background. The Henji theme, which is translated as change, because of its eerie yet magical melody that successfully causes a feeling of uneasiness. The second season's main theme, as it is a haunting tune that instills a feeling of hope in the audience despite its overall creepy nature. And lastly, the premonition theme, which, like its name suggests, alerts the audience that something is off through its spooky nature and that danger is closing in to our beloved cast in one way or another, with the bass further emphasizing the urgency of the situation. I give Higurashi no Naku Koro ni the plus ultra rating. Thank you very much for watching my review. If you liked the video, please drop a like and subscribe as it helps me a lot, and I will see you all in the next video. Otaku man out!